Obviously, the playoff picture has already been put together. There's a lot going on Black Friday. Kliff Kingsbury's been fired. Steve Keim has been let go, right? DC of Cleveland named
Joe Woods.
Joe Woods has been fired. Defense coordinator for the Falcons, Dean Pease, who coached Darius Butler, I believe, he has retired from the Falcons. Anything else we need to know? Lovie Smith has been fired. Anything else coming or anything else happening on this Black Monday, Ian Rappaport?
Okay, so first of all, we don't use that term anymore. Second of all,
what do we say?
Fired motherfucker Monday?
It's the day after the season.
Oh, okay.
The season's still going on.
We don't celebrate the firings of coaches. It's just part of what we do. Like the reporting, and then we turn our focus to the playoffs. So you will see no promotional material.
Yeah,
he's high horse today.
Okay, we're adults.
High horse.
Not everybody gets a job in the NFL, okay? You suck, you get fired. Jeez. That is what happens. Everybody that's in the NFL knows that.
You forgot. Hold on. You also get rich. You forgot that part.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why.
I was asked on NFL Network just now about Kliff Kingsbury. Like, he got fired after all the college coaching jobs. Like, Kliff Kingsbury is not coaching back in college. No way. And I don't know if he'll be coaching anywhere anytime soon, or honestly, maybe ever. He is very rich. He's made a lot of money in college, in the NFL, and has a new extension, and made money elsewhere in like investments and stuff. He is real rich. And it's so that's part of this. Lovie Smith gets fired in Houston after 1 year, gets 3-year fully guaranteed contracts.
Congrats, Lovie. Congrats, Kliff. Congrats, Lovie.
Coach David.
But Lovie Smith at 65 years old gets the next 3 years paid. It's bad, and it's very sad, but it's also, there's another part of it as well.
Obviously, this is the business, and I don't want to have to say it's sad that people lose jobs and families have to move. Like, that is what happens in the NFL. That is what this day is about. But a lot of teams and their fan bases don't care about the human aspect of it, which is sad. We don't like that.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
We don't like it, but there's a lot of people thinking about the future. There's one team that has a question for Ian Rappaport that is not in the playoffs, and wanted to make sure he asked this question because he's speaking for an entire legion of fans. Tone Diggs has a question for you, Rappaport.
Is Matt Canada getting fired? Rap.
Jeez.
So Mike Tomlin was just asked about this. Talked about the improvement that Canada has made from the beginning of the year to the end of the year.
Great.
Generally, when a coach talks like that, and they're not there, they're still going to go through it, but when a coach talks like that,
he's back.
It's you to believe that he's back.
Okay, let's talk.
The quarterback has played better. The quarterback has played better. The offense has played better.
You don't say.
Najee Harris has played better. So the offense is going in a direction that makes you think Matt Canada is staying. That's how I like it.
Okay. There are currently 5 head coaching jobs that are open. Field Yates just tweeted about it. How many head coaching candidates do we got?
Good question.
We have 5 now all of a sudden. The Broncos, wide open with the richest owner in sports.
Yep.
What will Walton want to do once he gets his hands on a non-salary cap coaching situation where he can outpay everybody? The Broncos have reached out to the New Orleans Saints to have conversations with Sean Payton. Mm-hmm. Sean Payton said on Fox NFL Sunday that he would like, a relationship with the owner is much more than a relationship with the quarterback. What does that mean? We do not know. Will Sean Payton be with the Broncos? Potentially. The Arizona Cardinals, after firing Kliff Kingsbury this morning, have a head coaching vacancy alongside a general managing vacancy because they let Steve Keim go after his health leave just a couple weeks ago. The Colts are wide open.
Very.
Wide. We got pieces on that roster, too, that you can utilize to bundle alongside a draft pick and move up to number 1. Now, Chris Ballard will be here, is what Jim Irsay has said, but the head coaching vacancy is real. Will Jim Harbaugh, who's awaiting a new deal from Michigan?
What?
Is what Ian Rappaport told us.
Right.
Will he take the leap back into the NFL after having massive success with Michigan back-to-back years? We did not know it was because Michigan wasn't paying him enough money.
No.
We thought this was because he maybe got bored. He accomplished something like he was able to do at Stanford, at San Fran. Now he's at Michigan. We want to get back in the NFL because he gets a little antsy. Ian Rappaport saying if Michigan pays him, the NFL conversation's over. Seems like the NFL conversation is over.
Harbaugh took a pay cut, though. That's the thing.
Took a pay cut?
A year and a half, 2 years ago, they
2 years ago, they
renegotiated.
wanted him out.
Yeah, so you don't you don't think he holds on to that, thinking, hey, you guys don't, you really don't believe in me.
Absolutely, but then all you got to say is,
now we do.
hey,
Here's some money.
Yeah,
back-to-back playoffs.
Yeah.
2 years ago, everything was all fun. My recruits finally kind of get in here. My culture kind of gets in here. We go back-to-back playoffs. You need to pay me? I assume Michigan will be like, yeah, we'll pay you.
You would think.
Yeah,
You would
exactly.
think now.
That's
yeah.
that was a surprise for me.
Beat
Ohio State back
They
to
have
back,
money.
too.
Yeah.
Best
Yes.
quarterback
First
they've had.
time, yeah.
Bro,
He probably know, but maybe does he know, hey, this is tough. It's really tough to do what we have done these last 2 years.
so if you talk to any insiders around the college football world, more specifically the authority,
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Pete Thamel, who's become boys with the
Oh,
boys.
yeah.
Weapon.
Pete
Nice
Thamel has
email
become
from Pete.
boys with the boys. He's given a lot of information to all of us. We can't thank him enough. He's talking about how a lot of coaches, he wouldn't tell us who, a lot of coaches are talking about how annoying and miserable it is to coach in college right now, let alone having to recruit 17-year-olds and travel to their house and have sleepovers and all that shit. NIL deal now. You're dealing with agents and families and money and bags and
Right.
this and that and that. And a lot of these high-end college coaches are at the point they're like, this is the NFL, but the NFL has quite an upside, and that's I don't have to act like I care about what 17-year-olds are going to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a chance that a lot of these coaches that we hold in high regard in college ball going to try to get out as much, even to become a coordinator or a quarterback coach in the NFL. Allegedly, that is what's being talked about. So maybe you add in that alongside Harbaugh feeling disrespected by Michigan. But if it's just pay me, fuck you, pay me from Harbaugh, I'd assume Michigan will pay him. I don't know why this conversation is continuing
Yeah.
to go on.
I mean, you'd think so, but why would you even leave the door open then for like an NFL team to wow him and have him be like,
Yep.
you know what, I actually do miss coaching in the NFL. Like, cause
do
like,
they know that that's what he's thinking? I would assume Michigan knows that
They
this
would have to.
So they would have had to say, no, we're not paying you then, right? That's why
Yeah.
Rapp's even saying that?
Right. It sounds like they have cold feet on getting to his number.
Taylor Lewan. What are you guys doing?
Come on.
What's that
What
about?
are you doing?
What's Taylor Lewan
mean,
doing?
figure it out.
Harbaugh.
I'm telling you, you don't think there'd be some hard feelings on your end. If
Oh,
2 years
definitely.
ago they came and said, hey, let's renegotiate. You need to take less money, and then you go back to back.
Yeah, but
like
I would
he has.
I would assume then it'd be like, hey, remember,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And then the other side would be like, you remember we were trying to get you out then. Now it's everybody else trying to get you out, not us.
Yeah.
I with the way coaches get paid and how often they get paid and how there's new contracts and
Right.
renegotiation and
Right.
moving and Michigan's going to pay. Panthers have an opening, although Wilkes has seemingly won over that locker room and an opportunity to coach that team. Second richest owner in the NFL, and that only gets talked about, and we've mentioned it because there is no salary cap for the coaches. So whatever the fuck they want to pay, whatever it'll get the job done, they can do that. Will that be a detriment or a benefit to Steve Wilkes, who's got the boys humming? I do not know, AJ.
I mean, they went 7-10. That's much better, I feel like, than if you would have talked to us in September,
Oh, yeah.
October.
Or
We
with a
thought
fire, yeah.
this team's going to be number one overall pick, most likely. People
Yep.
thinking back then, and then, I mean, it was a respectable team, I think, at the
Yeah.
end of the season.
Speaking for a team that could have been the number one overall pick, but they beat the Colts last game of the year.
Yeah.
Texans wide open as well. Go ahead, Tony.
Panthers almost won that division if they didn't give up 3 fucking goes to Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
In one game. What do you have, 432 yards or
They
something
were up.
like that?
They were up
Brady,
the entire
yeah.
game.
3
and
ties.
So then the Texans are the last one. So obviously two of the teams,
Texans back
three
to
of the
back.
teams that were competing for the number one overall pick have vacancies.
Yep.
So that is probably how the NFL should go. Even though Rappaport says we don't want to celebrate people getting fired, we agree. Okay? But we as fans also don't want to have to fake celebrate our team sucking forever. And sometimes it just doesn't work. There's a lot of great football coaches that have been fired. There's been a lot of great players that have been fired and then been able to find their way going forward. These are the 5 openings. Who knows how many GM openings?
Do you
there's
think
gonna be.
Texans back, like they think it's a good idea to fire like back-to-back years? Like you just keep firing.
Well,
year after
Coach
year? Dave.
Coach Dave.
Chewing on his tongue.
I think Coach Dave, who did chew on his tongue.
He did.
That was one of his moves.
Yeah.
We've seen it all over
It
TVs.
was sweet.
Seen it all the time. Coach Dave had those boys playing a lot better than Lovie did.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did. They won the first game.
What's that all about?
Davis Mills played like ass this year.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I
That's
hate
our
his
guy.
guy,
Step
'cause I
back.
love him.
Love
Took a huge
Dog.
step
I love
back.
him, but he took a massive step back. Because at the end of last year, we were saying, like, oh, he actually might be the guy moving forward. And now it's like, nah, we're drafting a quarterback. This guy stinks. He can't do it.
Darius, which one of those jobs you want the most?
Give me Arizona.
Yeah, with
Really?
Kyler.
Really?
I don't see Sean Payton. I don't know any of those jobs that fit him the best. If he goes to Denver, does he want to deal with Russ? If he goes to Arizona, does he want to deal with Kyler?
Russ is back.
Houston, why would Sean Payton go to Houston?
Russ had a hell of a weekend.
Yeah, I
team.
feel
He
like
did.
Denver might be the best place
Denver
to go.
possible.
Sean Payton said 7 out of 10 his likeliness of returning to NFL Fox.
What about
He's on the show, though, so you got to add at
No
least
way.
a point and a half.
True.
Come on.
Because he's there.
Right.
He doesn't
It's like,
wanna-
hey, you going to be here?
Yeah.
So that's like point and a half. So he's
Yeah.
over halfway thinking he's going to go back to Fox. Also, leverage.
Exactly.
Also, massive
What
level.
if,
Sean Payton talking on Fox about what he's looking for. He says ownership and front office matters most to him. That comes first before city/quarterback. Asked 1 to 10, what are the chances he'll be back at Fox while he's on Fox? His answer was 7. So let's go probably 1.5 down. He's probably about 50-50 right now, 5.5. That was exactly what Michael Lombardi said about Sean Payton. It's a good read by our Paisan friend Lombo. But he's going to get offered so much money, I assume.
What about there was a report about McVay this weekend. What if this one opens up?
Jeez.
What, Chargers?
No.
Rams. Why would they move on from Sean McVay?
No,
he would
no,
go to TV.
Yeah.
He said the way he answered it was very like, right now I'm worried about this team. And he said those are obviously it was a good promo. He said all those things are going to come up are a compliment to what we have built here. And I have said that I have interest in doing that whenever I'm done coaching. And I still have interest. So this is always going to come up. But what I'm worried about right now is where I'm at right now, which is this. So he did not dismiss it later, which, by the way, great marketing, great leverage, great negotiation for McVay. However many bags allegedly Amazon was going to give him $20 million.
Yeah.
Ooh, boy.
And I will say, as somebody that was negotiating with Amazon at a pretty similar time, that piece of information was a great piece of information to come out publicly. But that is what Sean McVay could potentially be. He literally could be the next coming of John Gruden in the booth.
Yes.
Not in the emails, but in a booth.
Sure.
So I think people would love listening to him. And his resume checks out. He's already a Super Bowl champ, been a coach of the year.
Yep.
He wants to
talk
do it.
well. He
Doesn't
wants
he want
to
to
do
do
it.
it, though, coming off of a good season? He doesn't want to do it coming off of this season.
Doesn't matter. All the
I
shit
know it
coaches
doesn't
go right to
matter.
TV.
But it does matter. Like, I think it matters to these guys. They're competitors. They're coaches. They don't want to say, oh, well, then I just had a terrible year, and so I said, I'm going to go make $15 million to be a color analyst or
15.
something.
You think it's going down?
No, I mean,
Because he had a bad year.
25.
I mean, maybe they will want a little discount because
that was part of what they were saying,
well.
though, which makes me think he knows something about Stafford and Aaron Donald and some of those other guys. The idea was like, hey, he's not interested in being part of like a 2 to 3 year rebuild. He doesn't want to do that. So maybe he's already had conversations and knows like, hey, those guys aren't 100% coming back next year.
I can't see him being out of football too long, though.
Calling games, you're in it.
Yeah.
Still,
Yeah,
though.
less
You see him,
work.
though. He's
Like,
a coach. Like,
he's
coaches, I don't know. I don't know if it's enough. Some coaches need more than just I'm going to do a show once or twice a week, or I'm going to do a game
Well,
once a week.
and McVay, I think, is one of those guys who's fully committed.
Oh,
right?
yeah.